Welcome to digital learning. Dear students, we are back to auditing class again. And in this session, we will be discussing on the last point in vouching of cash payment. The vouching of cash payment, this is the third session. And in this chapter, this is the 12th session. So we are studying about the part 3 of the vouching of the cash payment. We have already discussed about the vouching of cash purchases, vouching of the payment to creditors, then vouching of the payment of wages, vouching of the payment of salary, vouching of remuneration to auditors, and purchase of the investment. And today we will discuss about the vouching of capital expenditure. One more topic is there, that is vouching of the petty cash. That is not only payment, it includes even the receipt also, isn't it? Anyhow, it is also a payment, we can say, because it has only one receipt. That is in another way, it is also a payment. That is petty cash received, petty cash expenses spent. That we will discuss in the next video. Okay, today we will discuss about the vouching of the capital expenditure. We know about the capital and revenue items. The items which appear in the profit and loss account are revenue items. Items which appear in the balance sheet are capital expenditure. Capital items are lasting for more than 1 year. Its benefits will last for more than 1 year, and it is the expenses spent as capital expenditure becomes an asset, and it is shown on the asset side of the balance sheet. So, in order to or for watching the payment of capital expenditure, what are the points we should keep in mind? See, what is the meaning of capital expenditure? It refers to the payment made for made or it is refers to the payment made or acquisition of the fixed assets. So payment made for acquisition of the fixed assets, we can say like that. Payment made for acquisition of fixed assets, such as land and building, plant and machinery, patents, copyright, furniture, trademarks, like that. Different type of assets we have. Assets. So watching should be done on the following lines. How to do the watching? First of all, first thing we should keep in mind is see that payment is properly authorized. Second one, examine the document relating to the purchase and ownership. Purchase and ownership document should be clearly verified. Examine the invoices and receipt from the supplier. The supplier of the fixed assets, from the supplier of the fixed assets, you will receive the client will receive the invoices and also receipt for the payment. It should be examined. See that all expenses incurred for the acquisition, carriages, and installation of the fixed assets are capitalized. So we know that fixed asset is a capital expenditure. Even those expenditures which are looking like a revenue expenditure, but which are directly connected with the fixed assets, for the acquisition of the fixed assets, for the carriage of the fixed assets, for the installation of the fixed assets are capitalized. It should be clearly examined. ತಪ್ಪಿ ಕೆಲವೊಮ್ಮೆ ಅದು ರೆವಿನ್ಯೂ ಆಗಿ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಲಾಸ್ ಅಕೌಂಟಿಗೆ ಹೋಗೋ ಸಾಧ್ಯತೆ ಇದೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ವೆರಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. Next one, watch the cash book entries for the payment of capital expenditure with the concerned ledger accounts. Watch with the cash book entry. Cash book ina payment side ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು ಅದನ್ನ ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಹೇಗೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಲೆಡ್ಜರ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ನೋಡಿ ವೆಚ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. Physically examine the fixed assets purchased. Whatever may be the fixed asset, you have to physically examine land, machinery, furniture, motor vehicle, plant and machinery, whatever it may be, it should be physically examined. See that repairs and maintenance expense of the on fixed assets are charged to revenue expenditure. ಈಗ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಅಸೆಟ್ ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ನಂತರ ಏನಾದರೂ ರಿಪೇರಿ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಅಸೆಟ್ಗೆ ಹಾಕ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ರೆವಿನ್ಯೂ ಐಟಮ್. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ರಿಪೇರ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಮೇಂಟೆನೆನ್ಸ್. Now we will discuss the watching of payment under different headings. First of all, means different type of the assets. Watching of the payment made for different type of the fixed assets. First one is vouching of the payment made for the acquisition of plant and machinery. What are the things we should know? First thing is see that purchase is authorized. Authorized, it should be authorized by the proper authority. Second one, watch the payment as recorded in entries in the cash book with the help of the invoices and receipts. Invoice ಮತ್ತು receipt ಅನ್ನು ತೆಗೆದು ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಬುಕ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನೋಡಬೇಕು. Next one, see that expenses incurred on purchase, carriage and installation of the plant and machinery are capitalized. So here also we should confirm that payment in relation to the purchase or acquisition, carriage and installation of the plant and machinery are capitalized. Adishtu nodbekali. Next one is watching of the payment made for the acquisition of the freehold and leasehold property. ನಿಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ freehold property ಇದ್ರೆ leasehold property ಇದ್ರೆ ಎರಡು ರೀತಿಯ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿ ಇರಬಹುದು. Freehold property you are buying, leasehold you are taking on the lease. Such property, if it is acquired, what is the way of watching? First one, in the authorization for the purchase, that should be done for everything. Second one, examine the agreement for purchase. Agreement ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ purchase ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅದನ್ನು examine ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. Next one, if the purchaser through an auctioneer, examine the auctioneer's auctioneer's account. ಈಗ auction ಮೂಲಕ, if it is purchased through auction, you will receive a auctioneer's account. Auctioneer's note ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅದನ್ನ ನೋಡಬೇಕು. Examine the receipt obtained from the vendor. When you are purchasing, you will get surely a receipt for the payment from the vendor. It should be examined. For freehold property, examine the conveyance deed to ensure the ownership is conveyed. If it is a freehold property, you will have a transfer deed, you will have a purchase deed, you will have a conveyance deed, that is conveying or transferring the ownership from the seller to the buyer. So it should be verified. Next one, for leasehold property, examine the lease deed. If it is a leasehold property, you should check the lease deed. Lease deed ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೆಲ್ಲ conditions ಇದೆ, it should be checked. Next one, get title deed examined by the solicitor of the client. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕ್ಲೈಂಟ್ ನ ಸೊಲಿಸಿಟರ್ ಮೂಲಕ ಅಥವಾ ಆ ರೀತಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪರ್ಟ್ ಮೂಲಕ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಟೈಟಲ್ ಡೀಡ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ವೆರಿಫೈಡ್. ಯಾವುದೋ ಅಡ್ವೊಕೇಟ್ ಅಥವಾ ಸೊಲಿಸಿಟರ್ ಅನ್ನು ಭೇಟಿಯಾಗಿ ಅವರ ಮೂಲಕ title deed should be examined. Is there any problems with title deed? The building is erected through the contractor. Examine the contract, architect certificate and receipt from the contract. So if you are purchasing the building along with the land, freehold property, you have building also. The building is erected in that land. For example, if you purchase the land and in the land you have constructed a building. Building is erected or constructed through a contractor. You are not doing the work of construction by yourself. You are not managing it. You have given it as a contract through somebody. Contractor is doing the construction work. Then you should check examine the contract and agreement ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅದು architect certificate and receipt from the contractor. ವಿಷಯನ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. Is a building constructed by using the materials and services of the staff of the client? ನಿಮ್ಮದೇ ಸ್ಟಾಫ್, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕ್ಲೈಂಟ್ ನದೇ ಸ್ಟಾಫ್. For example, you are the auditor and you are having client nade staff. If the staff of the client, they are purchasing the materials, they are using the service of their own staff, then it is construction by the client themselves, isn't it? Then see that material cost, wages chargeable to building are properly ascertained and recorded. So you should clearly know that material cost, what are the materials purchased, different materials which are used for construction purpose. Construction materials, we know about the construction materials, isn't it? So all these things, it may be cement or any other materials, its cost and wages payable to the or chargeable or paid to the labor, it should also be, all these should be charged to the building. Whether it is ascertained and recorded, properly ascertained record agide ಎಂಬುದನ್ನು ನೋಡಬೇಕು. See that property is registered in the name of the client. Okay, property should be registered in the name of your client. Ensure all expenses for acquiring and registering the property are capitalized. Whatever may be the property, if it is a fixed asset, if it is a freehold property or whatever, maybe leasehold property, but for acquiring, for registering the property, if you spend something, it should be a part of that property, it should be capitalized. Make a physical inspection of the property. Physically, you should go to the land, to go to the site and check it. If purchased through a broker, examine broker's note. So these are the things. Next one is vouching of the payment made for acquisition of the patent. Another patent acquisition madidre, what is the payment you made? First one, if it is purchased, patent, if you have purchased, patent may be purchased or sometimes maybe through other media you might have obtained the what we say, the patent. Then what we shall do? So if the purchased through the, if it is purchased, we should vouch the payment for, vouch the payment made with the help of contract for the sale and receipt of the payment. ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅವರು ಸೇಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ನಿಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ರಿಸೀಟ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಅವ್ರ ರಿಸೀಟ್, ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಗಿವ್ ದ ರಿಸೀಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್. ಇಫ್ ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಥ್ರೂ ಅನ್ ಏಜೆಂಟ್ ಮೂಲಕ ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ, ಯು ಡಿಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ, ದೆನ್ ವೋಚ್ ದ ಏಜೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಕಮಿಷನ್. Whatever commission is paid to him, it should be watched with the agent's account. Check the agent's account for that and receipt given by the agent. For that, you should check the receipt also. So, in addition to this, really andre through agent, if you have to contract, you have to check the contract and sale receipt, contract for sale, receipt for the payment, everything should be checked. In addition, there will be agent's commission. It should be also checked. Next one, if acquired through research, you have your own research, your client has his own research and development R&D department, and through the research by them, you have acquired the acquired the patent. In that case, see that all the purchases incurred on the experiment and research connected with the patent are capitalized. So, ಆ ರೀತಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿದಂತಹ ಪೇಟೆಂಟ್ ಆದ್ರೆ you should see that expenses which are incurred for research and development are capitalized. That is for the patent. Next one, see that payment made for renewal of fee is capitalized. The patent have to be renewed. So if you are paying any renewal fee, it should also be it should not be capitalized. Okay. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ರಿನ್ಯೂವಲ್ ಫೀಸ್ ವರ್ಷ ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಅದು ಒಂದು ಸಲ, ವರ್ಷವ, 2 ಸಲ, ವರ್ಷ, 3 ವರ್ಷ, ಎಷ್ಟೋ ವರ್ಷ ಆದ್ರೂ it is only for that period, isn't it? If it is for 1 year, it is valid only for 1 year. Next year you have to pay another one, isn't it? So that is why it should be checked into, right? Next one, next ಏನಂದ್ರೆ fourth point, fifth point, he should actually see the patent. ಪೇಟೆಂಟ್ ಅದರದ್ದು ಅಗ್ರಿಮೆಂಟ್, ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಪೇಟೆಂಟ್ ಎಂಬುದನ್ನು ಬೇರೆ ಯಾವ್ದು ರೀತಿ ನೋಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, isn't it? It is having a contract, it is having a certificate, approved certificate, ಇದೇನಾದ್ರೂ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಅದನ್ನು ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಇಷ್ಟು ವಿಷಯಗಳನ್ನ, by this I have completed the vouching of the capital expenditure. We have discussed under the 3 headings. So vouching of different capital expenditure we have studied. Vouching of the plant and machinery, vouching of the property, freehold and leasehold, vouching of the patents. There are different type of other assets also. So these are some of the important assets, important capital expenditure which we have discussed today. Hope you have understood this. We have some practical oriented some multiple choice questions. Repairs and maintenance of the fixed asset is charged to dash. Respective fixed assets account, revenue account, capital account, and of the above. Next, which of the following is capitalized? Expenses incurred on purchase of plant, expenses incurred on carriage of plant, expenses incurred on installation of plant, all of the above. Vouching freehold property, examine conveyance deed, lease deed, both of the above, none of the above. If building is erected through a contractor, examine contract, architect certificate, receipt from the contractor, all of the above. If the patent is acquired through research, see that all the expenses incurred on experiment and research connected with the patent are capitalized, treated as revenue, treated as deferred revenue expenditure, none of the above. Thank you for listening to the class. See you again in the next video.